In today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys how to create these 3 animations. Let's get straight into it. So the first thing is, we're going to open a new composition, and we're just going to add a background layer. Just call it background, BG, that's what I usually do. Press OK. Alright, so now that we have our background set, we're going to add a 4 color gradient. So it's gonna look like this. Just move these controllers, move them to the edge of the screen, and then change them to like whatever dark color you want. But all of them have to be dark though. So here I'm gonna make it like dark blue. I'm gonna make this one dark purple, and then this one I'm gonna keep it blue as well. Maybe a lighter shade of blue, a bit lighter, something like this. So now it looks something like this. That's not bad. Alright, so once we have this, we're gonna add our screenshots in. So just go ahead and pick whatever screenshots you want and just crop them so it just shows the actual message or DM, whatever you want. So once you have all of these, we're just gonna hide the rest of the screenshots and keep the first one here. So now, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna add a linear color key. So we're just gonna add a linear color key. So you just press on this button and then press on the background, just like this, and it's gonna hide it. But the problem is now it also made DM really dark. So what you can do is you go here, matching softness, just make sure this is at 1%, and just like that, perfect. It basically made the background invisible, and but left all the other stuff like how it's supposed to be. So once we have the linear color key, the second effect we're gonna add is the light sweep effect. So once you add it, you're gonna have this controller, take it to the top left corner. So this looks pretty good, but what we actually want is we want to have like an edge glow, and we want it on the top left corner and the bottom right corner. So to do this, just you can increase the width a bit. Sweep intensity, make it 0. So you see right now, if I go here, you can see kind of like the top left corner, just like that. That looks pretty good. Also, by the way, if let's say, just a quick tip, let's say when you're pressing on something and then you have like the borders or the outlines showing, to like change the size or whatever, if you press Control Shift and H, it hides everything, so it doesn't show you whatever is on the screen. And this is pretty good when you want to like look at effects without like anything on your screen, like any like noise or whatever. Best thing you can do is press Control Shift H, and then it'll just hide everything. But sometimes like I'm editing and I completely forget about it, and I'm like, what the hell, why I'm pressing on this but nothing is showing up. But you actually still have it selected, it's just not showing on your screen. So to show it again, just press Control Shift and H, just like that. So once we have this, we're just gonna right click and duplicate it, hide the first layer or the first effect, and then we're gonna take the same controller and take it to the bottom right corner. Now you can see here that it's showing up on the top right. That's because of the direction. So just take this direction and take it down to the bottom right corner, so something around 140 degrees. That looks good. Yeah, 140. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then you can even increase the edge thickness if you want like it to pop more. But yeah, that essentially looks pretty good, as you can see. Okay, so yeah, once we added the light sweeps, we want to add a deep glow effect. But look what happens if I try adding a deep glow here. It creates like this border. So basically it's not working. Now, a really cool hack that I found, and you guys can check out this guy's YouTube channel. He's the one who basically who I learned it from. It's a pretty cool hack. What you can do is you can go and press grow bounds and then increase it to around 500, just like this. Then we're gonna add a radial fast blur, so CC radial fast blur, and these are all like effects that come in stock with Adobe, like you don't have to buy them or reinstall them or whatever. So once you have this, just change the amount to just 1, just like that. Perfect. And now look what happens if I add deep glow. You see? It fixes it, which is exactly what we want. So now that we have this, I'm just gonna lower the I'm gonna actually increase the radius to 550, and the exposure I'm gonna make it around 0.05, so it's not too like intense. So you can see it adds a small difference, which is perfect. And yeah, so now that we have this, literally copy all of the settings, and then Control C, and then just copy them on the rest of the screenshots. And then what we can do, we can just check each one individually. So here, for example, the light sweep is not on the top left corner. We can move it a bit more. Same thing to the bottom light sweep. It's here. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And then let's check the other one. This one looks good. This one looks fine. Same thing here. This one doesn't. We can fix this a bit. Move it a bit to the top right, and then this one to the bottom right. Sorry, top left and bottom right. This one is fine. This one is fine. And this one's also fine. Okay, they all look pretty good. Okay, so now once we have all the effects on the screenshots done, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna show them all, make sure they're all viewable, and then I'm just gonna lock the background screen so it doesn't allow me to press it. So now basically just move every screenshot to wherever you want it on the screen. So for example, this, I'm gonna move it over here, this over here, and just start playing around with it. And actually the best thing to do here is actually to start turning them into 3D layers. So you want to highlight them all. Make sure you have these two buttons on. So if you don't have them, you might have your After Effects screen looking like this. You just want to press these two buttons, and it's going to show all the different settings you can add on and properties. And then you want to highlight all your screenshots and then press on this cube. So now they're all 3D layers. Perfect. So now what you can start doing is just moving them around, pressing P, and then we can move this one a bit to the back. So just change the Z axis, move it to the top left. This one will move it, we'll press P, move it to the front, but we're gonna press S and decrease the scale. So it's at the front, but it's pretty small. Same thing with this. Just gonna decrease the scale. We're gonna decrease the scale and move it to the back, or sorry, move it to the front. So basically you want to do this to every single layer, and yeah, just do whatever you want. Be creative. Okay, so perfect. Now we have all our layers or our screenshots in their positions. So now what we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start organizing them and layering them out. So I want this to be my first screenshot that shows up. So I'm just gonna move it to the top, and then I'm gonna keep it like how it is right now. And then we can start messing around with the rest. So I want this one to pop up next. So I'm gonna move it to the second. So yeah, now what you can do is you can start decreasing the frames or the length of each one. So we're just gonna take this one down here. This one, no, I want this one to come next. Okay, something like this. And you can vary the lengths, so they don't have to all be like 5 frames apart. You can make it all different, just to add some like a nice touch. So yeah, that looks good. Okay, so now once we have that done, we're gonna go to the first frame, and we want it to pop out, so it looks like it has like a nice pop effect. So to do this, just press S to open the scale, and then we're gonna add a scale here. So we're gonna press on the stopwatch, and then what we're gonna do is it's right now it's at 46, so that's fine. We're gonna go like a few frames in front, maybe like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, around like 5 frames, let's say, or 6 frames, and then we're gonna go up like 10. So it's at 46, we're gonna go up to 66. Sorry, it's gonna start so it's at 46, so we want it at 0, then it'll go up to 66, and then it's gonna go back down to 46. So add a third keyframe a bit in front. It's just like that. So it's gonna look like this. But you see, the issue is it's because it's linear, the keyframes are linear, it doesn't look that good. So what we're gonna do actually is we're gonna move them a bit to the left. So you want the keyframes to be before the second screenshot pops up, and then just highlight all of them and press F9, and it just eases them. So if I press here on the graph editor, it looks like this. Okay, so now it looks something like this. That's pretty good. And then just highlight all your keyframes, and then copy it, and then go to the start of the second clip, and then paste it. And then you can press U as well to see the keyframes. So now it looks like this. That looks pretty good. And then same thing, go to the third keyframe, start of the third screenshot, paste it. Start of the fourth screenshot, paste it, and keep doing the same thing. So it's gonna look something like this. But the thing is, what happened is because we copied the keyframes, it also changed the size. It's now all the same size as the first keyframe, the first screenshot. So I'm gonna go to the second screenshot, and then see when it goes to 0 to 66 and then back to 46. I'm gonna go to the last keyframe, and I'm gonna change it to like, so that one is actually fine. The third one isn't that fine, so it's at 46. Actually, I'm gonna make it smaller. I'm gonna make it 30. I'm gonna call the keyframe right before it 30. So this one is 10 more, so it's gonna be 40, just like this. I'm just gonna keep going to see if anything that looks too big. So this one I don't really like. I'm gonna again go 0. I'm gonna go to the last keyframe, make it a bit smaller, so like 40, and then the keyframe right before it, I'm gonna make it 50. Okay, so that looks good to me. So next what we're gonna do is actually I'm gonna close all of these. I'm gonna go to the first one, then I'm press on position, and I wanted to kind of wiggle around and move on its own. So to do this, again press on P to open position, hold Alt and press on the stopwatch. So yeah, when this expression pops up, you want to type in wiggle and then 0.7, 12, and you can see now it's slowly hovering, which is really nice. So again, what you can do is just copy the expression, just right click on position, copy expression, and then highlight the rest of the screenshots and press Ctrl V, and then it's gonna look like this. You see, they're all slightly moving, which looks nice. Okay. Also, I'm just gonna, because I made this around 4 seconds long, so I'm just gonna trim the whole composition, trim comp to work area. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So now we're just gonna add a camera zoom. So go to right click, go to new, and add a camera preset. You make sure it's one node camera. The preset either 35mm or 50mm, doesn't really matter. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna press on position, add a keyframe at the start, and then we're gonna move away, and then we're gonna move to the last frame, and then this minus 1050, we're gonna start slowly scrolling out until here. So that looks pretty good. So now this is what happens. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna go again. I'm gonna even zoom out even more, something like this. So let's see how it looks like now. Yeah, you can see it's zooming out. That looks pretty good. So that looks pretty good. And then what I also did at the start was I added a kind of, so what I did at the start as well is I added a kind of a rotation. So to do this, just add a right click, go to new, and add a null object. Make sure it's a 3D layer as well, so you press this, and then the camera, go make sure it's parent and link and not the track matte. Take this pick whip and then just pull it onto the null, and then you're gonna have this. And then what you can do is you can press R here, and then let's see how it's gonna look like. We're gonna, I think it's the Y. Nope, not the Y, not this. Okay, it's the Z axis. So I'm just gonna add a keyframe at the start, and then I'm gonna move it to like 12. I'm gonna move a bit in front, and then I'm going to move it back to 0. It looks something like this. Actually, I'm gonna move it even more front. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Okay, and then finally, to finish off the effect, we're gonna add a right click and add a adjustment layer. Add a noise effect. So right now it's at 0%. We're gonna increase it to like 3. That looks pretty good. If I make this full, you can kind of see the difference. Like you see how here it looks like this, and if I remove it, it looks clean. So this is pretty nice. And you can also add chromatic aberrations here, and just make sure this is -1, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, and then again the chromatic aberrations, you can see if I zoom in. Sorry, green makes green 0. Yeah, let's make it red and blue. That looks better. So you can see how it looks like here. What you can do, like if I remove it, you can see there's a small difference. It looks pretty good. So yeah, and then now your animation looks like this. Okay, now we're gonna move to the second editing style. Okay, so now for the second editing style, we're gonna press Ctrl Y to add a solid, and then again we're gonna call this background, and then this one you can just make it white. Actually, make it like a bit like somewhere here. Yeah, it has this hex code. Okay, that looks fine. So I'm just gonna keep it like that. Next, we're gonna add the text. And yeah, all the assets that I have used in this video are in my Discord below. And now what we're gonna do is gonna go here. We're gonna right click and add a text layer. And then here we're gonna write iMessage. So what we're gonna do is also we're gonna press on here. We're gonna change it from this text style. We're gonna change it to SF Pro Display. And then we're gonna make it medium. Just like this. We're also gonna change the full color to something like this. It looks pretty good. And now press Control Alt Home and Control Home. And then we're just gonna hold Shift and move it to the top, so it stays like, you see if I move the mouse around, it stays centered. Move it to the top, just like that. And then we're also gonna press, we're gonna decrease the size, and then press again, Control Alt Home, Control Home, no. We're gonna press Scale and just decrease the scale, just like that. Okay, and maybe move it a bit down. Okay, that looks perfect. So now we're gonna Control C, Control V, copy it, and move it down again. And then this time we're gonna change the date. So we're gonna write today, space, and then we can write like 9:50 p.m. Here, what we're gonna do is again Control Alt Home, Control Home, move it to the top, and then decrease the size a bit more. No, sorry. Press S on scale and just decrease it like that. And then yeah, that looks pretty good. Move it a bit to the top, and then change. So just highlight today, and then change today to. And then change today to keep it medium. Then change the highlight just the time, and then change it to regular. So yeah, that looks pretty good. So yeah, once you have that done, we can start adding the shapes. So over here, you can see I have the shapes just like this. So the issue right now, I think, is the background is a bit too dark. So we're gonna have to go back. So we're gonna press add the fill effect, and then change it from red to just go to the top white. Yeah, that looks better. The bubble shows better. So just take this, and then we're gonna just duplicate it like 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, just like that. And that's where we're gonna move it to the bottom. So that looks fine. We're gonna actually duplicate it 1 more time. 6. I'm just gonna lock the background layer just in case, and then also the text actually. So now what we're gonna do is doesn't really matter how it looks like right now. We need to first write the text in these message bubbles. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unlock these. I'm gonna go to this, and then I'm gonna press Control D. Take it over here. Just move it to the top, so it goes on top of this shape. And then I have this message already written out. Just Control Alt Home, Control Home. Then I'm just gonna increase the size, just like that. Okay, that's fine. And actually, what's funny is well, no, it's not funny, but this is a real DM I got. So that's why I'm just gonna copy the DMs I got and I just put them on top of these shapes. So you can do the same thing. You can write whatever you want. Once you write it like this, just you wanna adjust the size. So yeah, once you have it like this, what you wanna do is you wanna press on this, the pan behind, and then you're gonna take this anchor point right in the middle, the blue one, and then you're just gonna move it to here, to this side. And how you can do this by just holding Control, and then it'll just attach like that. And you want to do the same thing for all of them. And then this one, the blue one, just take it to the right, just like that. Okay, so again, once we have all that done, I still need to adjust this, so you can just, alright, yeah, so again, just make sure you have 5 layers, or 5 shapes. And then how you can change this is you can just press once, double press on one of these buttons, and then just press here once, and then you're gonna have this, and then just highlight the last few buttons, or like whatever shapes you want to call them, and just hold them, and then hold shift and move it to the right, just like that. And yeah, that looks pretty good to me. And then just do the same thing for the rest, and you should be good to go. So I have something like this right now, and you can see the problem what we have right now is they're not perfectly spaced apart. So you can see the spacing here is not the same as here, which is not the same as here, and so on. So how you can do this is first link the text layer to the shape layer. So link each one to its own shape layer. Okay, once you have that done, press on all the shape layers, just align it to the left, and then distribute vertically. And that looks perfect. And then I'm just gonna move it a bit to the right here. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then this one, you can just also move it wherever you feel like it looks good. Somewhere around here. That looks pretty good. Okay, that looks good to me. So now we can start animating them. So we're gonna start with these two. So what we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go to the iMessage, start with the iMessage, and then press on P, and then I press on Shift T, so that shows the position and the opacity with it. So I'm gonna start with the position. It's gonna be, I'm gonna take the key, make it a keyframe, move it a bit in front, and then at the start I want it to start from down, so just like this. And then we're gonna add a keyframe for opacity at 100, and then I'm gonna move it in front to the second keyframe. So if you hold shift, it can like lock on. So just move it to the second keyframe and then go back to the start and then make the opacity 0. So now it looks something like this. But we want it a bit faster, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna highlight them all. We're gonna press F9, all the keyframes, and then we're gonna zoom in a bit and then make them go a bit faster. Something like this. Actually, move it like here. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Okay, so now we have the iMessage looks good. I'm gonna go to today, and then the same thing, just press P and Shift T. And then I'm gonna go to the start, the position keyframe and an opacity keyframe. Move these two a bit to the front, and then I'm gonna make the opacity 0 at the start, and then make it start from the bottom. Highlight them all, F9, then something like this. But they appear in the same time, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually highlight these keyframes and move them a bit in front. Move them actually a bit separate as well. Separate them a bit, then move them a bit more in front. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, so now we're going to start animating all of these messages. So we're going to start with the top, these two. What I'm going to do is I'm going to have, again, P and Shift T. gonna be the same thing for all of them. So only for the shape layer, because the text layer is already attached to it. So wherever it moves, the text layer also moves. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna press on the position keyframe, and then move it a bit in front, and then just at the start move it down, just like that. So I'm also gonna add a keyframe for opacity. So just press opacity, move it to the front 100, and then move it back to 0. Then you're gonna have to add an opacity as well keyframe for the text. So then once you have these keyframes like that, hold them and press F9, and then you're gonna have this. That looks pretty good. I'm gonna move this a bit in front, like till here, so it starts late. So first you'll have the iMessage pop up, and then you'll have this coming in, just like that. Maybe even move a bit faster, move the keyframes a bit closer to each other. Yep, that looks pretty good. So now we're gonna have to do the same thing for all the other layers. So just go ahead to each one individually, and then make it add a keyframe to opacity and position, and make the position start from the bottom to the top. So once you have all the keyframes added, you're gonna have something that looks like this. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add some movement to the scene. So we're gonna add a camera, one node, 35mm, that's perfect. And then we're gonna press on P for position. Also we're gonna make sure everything else is a 3D layer. So just press 3D. We're gonna go on the camera. We're gonna press on position keyframe, go all the way to the end, and then just zoom out. So it looks something like this. That's not bad. Yep, that looks pretty good. And then what I'm gonna do is right before my message pops up, like somewhere here, I'm gonna press Ctrl+Shift+D to split the layer. I'll go a bit more in front, and I'll split the layer one more time here. And then what's gonna happen is at this bottom camera layer, I'm actually gonna press P, and I'm actually gonna zoom in onto my message, so it kind of does like a nice cut. So it looks something like this now. Oh. So actually what happened is it added a keyframe. Just make sure you press on this position stopwatch, so it looks something like this now. So yeah, that looks pretty good. It cuts to my message, and then it goes in front. And you can even make it a longer cut, just like this. Then even add some position to it. So you can go here, go to the all the way to the end, and then maybe zoom out a bit. So something like this now. Yeah, that looks pretty good. And yeah, what you can also do is you can add a typewriter effect as well to the text. We can add this effect, typewriter. And then just press on U to open the keyframes, and then you can see here, the start, take it to the front, and then take this here. So sorry, like this. Yeah, like that. So it finishes right before. So yeah. And then you can do the same thing to the second text layer, add the typewriter effect to it, press U, move it like somewhere around here, like that. So once you add the typewriter to all of the, once you add the typewriter effect to all of the text layers, you can now close them all, and just it looks like this. Yeah, actually the top actually appear a bit too fast, so I'm just gonna make them farther apart. Okay, that looks better. And then the final thing we can do is add motion blur to everything. And yeah, that looks pretty good. Now we're gonna go to the third and final editing style. So for this final editing style, what we're gonna do is we're gonna copy the background that we did from our first editing style. Copy and paste it and just extend it. Then what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a rounded square. So just go to the top here, rectangle tool, hold it, and then this is gonna open up, and just press on the rounded rectangle tool. Then just create like a rectangle, simple one. Maybe this size is pretty good. It looks good. Then just press again on it. The anchor point is here. Just press Control Alt Home and Control Home. Perfect. Now we're just gonna press on it. I'm also gonna increase the roundness to around 40. Yeah, that looks pretty nice. Once that's increased, I'm just gonna go to Fill, change the color, make it a dark gray, maybe like this much. That looks good to me. And then actually we're gonna add a stroke. So press on stroke and make sure it's a solid color. And then for the stroke color, make it like a light gray. That looks pretty good. Yeah. Then yeah, just make it 5 pixels. Okay, that looks good to me. Okay, so once you have this created, what you're gonna do is we're gonna add the MacBook window buttons, and this is also gonna be in my Discord server below. Just what we're gonna do is we're gonna press S for scale, and then we're gonna scale it down a tiny bit, just like that, and then move it to like the top corner. Yeah, and then again just add the effect, the linear key effect, linear color key. And then just press on this button, and then we're just gonna press on the black, and yeah, it looks perfect. It looks really good. Okay, so once we have that done, we're gonna start adding the text. So just go here, new text, and then here I'm just gonna call it the credited editor, and I'm gonna color it white. And then I'm just gonna whole colors white, and then I'm just gonna decrease the scale a tiny bit. I'm gonna make it actually semi-bold. I'm just gonna put it up here, and then press Control Alt Home. Okay, that looks good to me. And then just press Control D, move it down like around here. Then I'm gonna decrease it again to 40. Make this regular. And yeah, that looks good to me. I'm also gonna add this shape layer. So I'm gonna make it small. Put it right around here, smaller. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. I'm just gonna lock the background. And then I'm just gonna hold Shift and press the blue shape layer. And I'm just gonna press here, align vertically. Perfect. Now, I'm gonna press Control D, move it down, press Control D, move it down once more, and then one more. That looks good to me. Okay, I'm gonna put the shape layer above the text layer it's next to. So I think this goes here, so yeah. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing I did before. I'm gonna link, and then again parent the shape layer to the text layer for each one. So now if you move the text layer, the shape layer moves as well. And then you can write whatever you want here. So you can write like, so once we have this, what we can do is I'm gonna select all of this, press Control D, move everything to the top like that, and then just move it down. Just like that. And then I'm gonna highlight everything else and move it to the top. So that we're just gonna change this. So I'm gonna delete these two because I didn't have these two, and then I'm gonna call this the invisible editor. So I'm gonna add this cursor right here, and I'm just gonna decrease the size a bit so it's like this big, maybe even smaller. Yeah, that looks good, better. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna press P to add a position keyframe. I'm gonna go to the start of the clip, or I'm gonna go to the start, add a position keyframe, and then I'm just gonna move it outside the frame. Then I'm gonna go a bit more in front, and then I'm gonna move it over here. So you're gonna see this. You're gonna see this line, the keyframes, and it's too linear. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go up here. So you're gonna go to the pen tool over the top, hold it, and then press on Convert Vertex tool. You're gonna press it once, and then you're gonna press again, and then you're gonna have these two dots pop up. You can move around. So now we're gonna press back on the normal pen tool, and then you're just gonna move it to the bottom, and then you're gonna be able to add this nice like smooth curve. And so you can see what it does basically. So the issue right now is that it's too like linear. So if you go press on the position and go to the graph editor, press on it one more time, and then press F9, you're gonna have this. And what you can actually do is you're gonna go to the middle here, move it to the top, and then move the other one to the top. And then you're gonna create one like easy like I don't know what you call it, like a hill looking graph. So now if you see here, it's way smoother. It doesn't just randomly stop in the top in the middle. So that looks pretty good. So we're gonna have it like that, and then after a while we're gonna add another keyframe, and then we're gonna go a bit more front, and then we're just gonna move this down over here. Actually, we're gonna move it a bit more in front, this keyframe. Then here, what we're gonna do is again go to the pen tool, Convert Vertex tool, press somewhere in the middle, press on it again, and then go back to the normal pen tool, and we're just gonna move it over here. And you can just start playing around with this again, make it smoother. And then again, same thing, go to the graph editor, just move it, you know, make sure it's all the way to the top and it's pretty smooth, just like this. Move this one back down, and yeah, it should look something like this. Yeah, it looks pretty good. So I'm gonna even make I'm gonna move the keyframes a bit closer to each other, and then I'm gonna make this shorter. Trim comp to worker, yeah. So that looks pretty good. Now to add even more flair to the scene, what we're gonna do is when it goes here, when the mouse is about to reach the first box, so right over here, like right before, this is perfect. I'm gonna go in this shape layer, open it up. So yeah, I'm gonna press on this box, and then right before the mouse hits it, I'm gonna press on scale. I'm gonna move it a bit to the back, and then I'm gonna increase it to like 110. Now to add a bit more flair to the scene. So first thing what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make sure nothing is parented to anything. So this is all none now. And then I'm gonna go and select everything over here, except for the shape layer. And I'm gonna parent it to the shape layer. I'm gonna parent it to this box. So now if I move this box, everything else moves with it. I'm gonna do the same thing over here. So take everything and then parent it to the box. So if I move this, just like that, perfect. Now I'm gonna go right before the mouse hits the box. Of course, you want to make sure the mouse is on the top. That is the highest layer, so it can go on top of the images. I'm gonna go over here right before the mouse hits it, and I'm gonna press S, and then add a scale keyframe, and then move it to the back, and then I'm gonna increase it to 110, and move it a bit to the front. So now it looks like this. Yeah, that looks good. And then I'm just gonna ease it. So press F9. Maybe move it a bit in front, even more. Yeah, like this much. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move right as it's going out. I'm gonna copy this last keyframe, Control C, then paste it here, Control V, and then copy the first keyframe, Control C, and then paste it here, Control V. So then it looks something like this. So now, perfect. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the shape layer. I'm gonna copy the first two keyframes, Control C, go to this shape, and then as soon as it's about to hit it, I'm gonna press Control V. So now if I open it, it's gonna look like this. Next, I'm gonna add the color. So I'm gonna change the color. So once I'm gonna go here. So I'm gonna go to this shape layer. I'm gonna press U, and then on this keyframe, I'm gonna go to Contents, Rectangle, Fill, and then the color keyframe. I'm gonna press on it and add the keyframe here, and I'm gonna move in front. I'm gonna change this to a greenish color. Something like this. Looks pretty good. And then again, I'm gonna go to the last keyframe, press on this, and then change it back to a gray color. So Control C, Control V. So it looks something like this. Perfect. And now I'm gonna do the same thing with this shape. I'm gonna go here, go to this keyframe, open rectangle, open fill, add a keyframe for color, and then go down, and then change it to a reddish color, just like that. So now you have this. So now to make it all look better, I'm gonna go to this shape layer, and then add the deep glow effect. And you can also use the regular glow effect, whatever works. I'm gonna make the radius a bit down and the exposure a bit down as well. Then I'm actually gonna open it. So see, it looks good here. So what I'm gonna do is actually I'm gonna add a keyframe to the exposure. So I'm gonna go to the first keyframe, add exposure, make it 0, and go to the second keyframes, and then I'm gonna, when the color changes, and I'm gonna make it like 0.4. Perfect. And then I'm gonna go to the last keyframe over here, and then make it again 0.4. So if I open it, sorry, one more time. Yeah, right here. So add a keyframe for exposure, 0.4, and then go to the end, and then change it back to 0. So it looks like this. And then of course always F9 every keyframe to make it an easy ease graph. And then same thing over here. So I'm gonna press on this shape layer. I'm gonna press on U, add the deep glow effect, make it a bit lighter, like 0.4. And then I'm gonna go to the first keyframe here, add a keyframe for exposure, press U. U shows all the keyframes. And then we want it to be 0 here, and then want to change this color, is going to go to 0.4. And then finally, for the Mac cursor, just add a motion blur. So you basically press this. And yeah, you should now have this. So once again, all the assets are going to be in my Discord server in the link below. And yeah, if you guys like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. And check this video right here to learn how to make animated backgrounds.